Hello, everyone. This is Bert Langell, and I've got Martin with me from Slovakia. Thanks for coming. Uh, Please let us know if you can hear us, you can see us, uh, and where you're from, if anybody's there.
Yeah.
I don't
Hello,
expect
everyone.
a lot of people. Uh, yeah, so what's it like in Slovakia today, Martin?
Yeah. Hi, Bart. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me there. Uh, Everything is fine. Very sunny, nice day. So, and it's afternoon and pretty hot this time.
Right.
Yeah.
So are the summers pretty hot there?
Yes. Not as hot as maybe some other countries, but
Hmm.
yeah, like it's around 30, 33, up to 35 maybe degrees. That is the peak. Yeah.
Right. I have to roll back my slides here. Okay. So is this your national flag, Martin?
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's our national flag. There are hills, like three, and the cross, which is, like a sign of Christian culture,
Hmm.
and the hills that we have big hills in the center of a country. And the colors are, like Slavic colors, or other flags as well as,
Hmm.
like Czech or others. So this is pretty much the same meaning. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what countries surround you?
Yeah, so we are surrounded. Slovakia is the red one, and we are surrounded from north Poland,
Hmm.
Czech Republic, and Austria, Hungary, and Ukraine.
Okay, so Austria would be just south of you, or is that
Uh,
Hungary?
no, it's the Hungary, and on the
Right.
west. On the west, basically on kind of kind of like west one. Yeah, maybe
Great.
southwest is Austria. Yeah.
And thanks for coming, Ranish. Yeah, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. And uh, thank you for the LinkedIn user who's saying good afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon to Martin and morning for me here in Nova Scotia, Canada. Yeah. So, yeah, you were telling me, Martin, that you can get around Europe pretty easy from Slovakia,
Uh,
flights and
yeah,
trains and.
yeah, we are surrounded. Like Slovakia is a pretty small country. We don't have that big international airports there, but there are big ones, like in Vienna or in Budapest or in Warsaw, which are all surrounded by us. If you go from one side to another in Slovakia, like the longest distance might be around 6 hours by car. So it's not that big country as like Canada or United States or so.
Right.
So yeah.
And BJ, thanks for coming. BJ's a friend of mine.
Huh?
Good
Okay.
morning to you, buddy. Very early there, I think. Yeah. Yeah. It's very different than Canada. Our train system's not good. And it's so big, even to like Toronto, they say it's Eastern Canada, Montreal's Eastern Canada, but it's like an 18-hour drive, 16-hour drive from
Mm.
Halifax here to. So it's so different in Europe, to be able to go to Vienna or those places. Now you were just in Poland, or not in Poland, but in Portugal. That's pretty cool.
Yes, yes. Like this is kind of like longer distance. You can get there by
Hmm.
plane, but as you can see on the map, Europe is not actually that big. Like if you go, I don't know, to Italy, or many people try by car to Italy or Croatia or some other countries that are pretty, I don't know, like up to 10 hours on car.
Wow.
So Yeah. You can,
Croatia's
like cross
people.
in 10 hours. You can cross multiple countries in Europe,
Right.
like one or two. So it's not that big. And this is
And
the capital.
the capital, what's it
Yeah,
called?
Bratislava, and
Mm-hmm.
it is on the west, really near to Vienna.
Okay.
So yeah,
Looks pretty modern with some beautiful landmarks and that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And there is this is the castle. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, that one on the previous. There was.
Okay. I guess I flipped right through that. And you said there are a number of castles and that.
Yes, yes. Lots of them. And they don't. Like right now they are just for you can go there, you can like see and hear something about the history. It's not
Right.
used that much, or some of them are really like only few stones at the one place that there is not much left, but some of them are in a good shape. This, I think,
Mm-hmm.
one on the picture, I'm not 100% which one it is, but it is in pretty good shape. So I expect that there are some exhibitions so that you can get there, you can check it, and you can visit such of these, multiple of
Mm-hmm.
these in Slovakia. Every region has their own, with some, like their region specific dresses and everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And what would the traditional dress be like in Slovakia?
It it differs, but it looks it very colorful
Mm-hmm.
with some really specific shapes
Mm-hmm.
on some white background usually. So something like that, with hat, with
Mm-hmm.
big shoes like this big one, like that. this
Right.
these were really like used in, I don't know, like 50, 60 years. Some older people, they still have it, and
Right.
this is kind of like typical city, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. Like there is usually city center where you have some church or some tower,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Is like very usual architecture and surrounded by some nature, some hills or some forest, and like smaller buildings around.
Right.
Yeah.
And stone buildings.
Yes, yes, and we have lots of lakes, lots of forest as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get there. Probably not that good for swimming. Usually colder, even in
Right.
summer. But depends. Like many people swim there anyways. But for fishing or like just having some tours, we have lots of these paths for tourists that you can walk and check different and see different places. This is very common, to go
Beautiful.
forest. Yeah.
How are the roads in Slovakia? Is it pretty easy to get around with the car?
Yes, car is pretty fine. Like there are some roads in some districts that not that well, maybe not enough money to
Right.
repair them, but in most of the places and in the most like attractions, if you need to get there, you can get there by car at some place, some bigger parking spot, and then you just go hiking, and like you return to that place. There are nice
Right.
restaurants in the hills that you can get some hot soup during
Mm-hmm.
winter and have some rest and then get back. Yeah, and this is like typical in winter that people go for hiking or skiing there. Yeah, in high Tatras mostly, which is
Right.
Carpathian big hills
Right. And
in
you
in,
said
in Europe.
could be 2,000 meters, two and a half
Yeah,
thousand
two and a
meters.
half, two and a half approximately. Yeah, the
Right.
highest peak.
Pretty good skiing, cross country skiing, and alpine
Yes,
skiing. Yeah.
yes. These two, I guess, on the picture they are cross country skiing. They basically, like it's easier for you if you go
Mm-hmm.
hiking this way, as if there is very very big snow. There might be few meters of snow, so it's easier to get this way.
What do you like to do outdoors in the winter there?
Yeah, like I think it's very beautiful. Like if you have trees with this fresh snow,
Right.
icy around. It's very beautiful. I think if it is not, like very much fog, if it is not cloudy,
Right.
then I think it's very beautiful. And if you get the good weather, because sometimes it's very difficult, as it might be very, very cold or raining the whole day. So yeah,
And what's very, very cold?
very, very cold is, like at summer, it might be, like around zero, that you don't
Right.
expect, because like you go there and there is five
Right.
degrees or so. So it's very cold. And in winter, it might be more than minus 20 degrees or so.
That cold.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, something like Western Canada. Of course, Western Canada, it could be minus 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, same in the US, the interior of the US in the winter. But here in Nova Scotia, it's more like zero in the winter.
Hmm.
And what are these?
Yeah, like for Slovakia, many traditional food is made of special kind of breads,
Hmm.
or potatoes. Lots of things are made of that. I expect this would be some kind of special bread
Hmm.
made of walnuts that are around surrounded around. So yeah, something like that. Probably with some egg on it, as you can
Right.
see, because it is uh, very shiny, very
Right.
nice. Big, yeah.
And there's one that I missed the. This is your traditional house. I
Yeah,
guess
made
house.
of wood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ye-
you don't see
yes.
this so often anymore.
Yeah, there are some places or some traditional villages. Some people might even live in such house. It's possible, not very common right now,
Right.
but mostly there is kind of like museum made out of it, so you can see, and the inside, uh, there is also some, like traditional furniture and everything that you can see, watch. It's as museum skansen, that you can go
Right.
around through one building to another and see, like mill, water mill, or other places that
Right.
were traditionally, how villages in Slovakia did
Right.
before. Yeah.
So we'll change the subject and welcome to everyone that's here. I don't know if I said that, which wasn't very polite. Uh, so, Martin, what's the IT industry like in Slovakia? Do you have a pretty good IT sector?
Yes, I think IT sector in Slovakia is pretty strong. There are
Hmm.
many companies that work somehow with IT. Many cities that you can get pretty well paid job
Hmm.
in many districts here in Slovakia. So um, yeah, like many clients are from abroad. So
Right.
we work for our clients here in Slovakia or surrounded countries, but many of our companies here in Slovakia, they are from abroad, or they have clients that are from abroad. But um, yeah, I think, like if you search for the job, or maybe one of the most popular, or you have really large perspective of different opportunities in IT sector, especially in our city or in the capital.
Right.
Košice is the city where I'm from. It's the second biggest city in Slovakia, but the Bratislava, it's the capital, and it is the same there. And with, like with the COVID and remote work, it's even wider possible, basically, to work for anyone, and from anywhere, directly, or like through someone, some company that is local there. And it's very common that there is, like some local company in Slovakia that is providing a business from abroad to freelancers, or to
Right.
to some IT specialists. Yeah, that's very common.
And I guess your cost of living will be a lot lower than Canada or the US or the UK, maybe a
Yeah,
bit lower.
yeah, probably yes. I must say that the capital and our city right now in the past few years, it's got worse. Like surrounded villages are still pretty good. So if you, I don't know, want to live, I don't know, up to 30, 50 kilometers from some bigger city, it's, I think, very good price.
Hmm.
But these are Bratislava or Košice or other bigger cities. They got to be pretty expensive. You know, like services are much more expensive. Also, accommodation and everything got up. So it is in past few years that it is not that good as it used to be before. So yeah, the people then are, like with the remote work, they go to surrounded villages or other places that they are still, like having benefits of bigger city, but they don't have that much expensive rentals or,
Right.
like price
Yeah.
for the flat or house.
What do you pay for a liter of gas, of regular gasoline? Do you know?
Yeah, around like 1.6 euros, something
Okay.
around that. Yeah,
It's pretty pricey. Uh,
yeah.
Canadian, our price just went up to $1.80 a liter Canadian, which is,
Hmm.
like what would that be? $1.40 a liter US.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
must be even, like
that's high.
around. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not. Yeah.
sometimes it was like 98 cents or $1.10. So
Hmm.
yeah, everything's gone way up in price, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
And your company, you told me you do a lot of work with banking software and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes, we are focusing mostly on fintech, or
Mhm.
crypto. That
Mhm.
we are working with multiple clients from US or like from from all the, like Europe or from Hong Kong, for example. That's my case. So we have like large large perspective
Right.
from different countries, different cultures. Everything is be different. Like the product is slightly different, but you can see that culturally, this product needs to be somehow specific for the region, as like people are used to some other benefits or some other products from the bank, which
Right.
is kind of interesting to watch because we are all, like bit different in that meaning that many people are attracted by something else depending on
Right.
where they are from.
Right. And yeah, a lot of my clients are in fintech. They're software engineers working with banks.
Yeah.
A lot of the banks have legacy systems and that. So
Mm,
I think it makes it more challenging. And yeah, how did you go to an IT school in Slovakia? You did a degree in computer
yes.
science.
I studied computer science here in Slovakia, which was, I must say, very good level, from the IT and math and this kind of like professionality perspective. What was not that good was actually the English.
Hmm.
That in Slovakia you usually study in Slovak language, even like the most of the scope from computer science, like community is speaking like common language is usually English.
Hmm.
But yeah, we were like coding in English, but not that much communicating as all the subjects were in Slovak language. Also the exams. That's why I decided to spend 1 year abroad as exchange Erasmus student in the Netherlands, where it's much better that
Right.
you can study there in English, many subjects, and this was
Right.
also challenging but very good experience. That
Right.
like it boosts my English very much, maybe even more than the the years spent in school before at the high school or at some first level school or so. So
Right. So did the people in the Netherlands speak good English?
yes, I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
it's for them. It's very common, I think, and not sure. It might be caused by many perspectives, but also, like the Netherlands words or the base of the words is maybe similar, much more
Hmm.
similar, maybe to German, also to English
Yeah.
and other of these languages. But also, I think they are very open to world, so many interactions, and they also don't dub uh, movies and TV, so they usually have subtitles in their language. In Slovakia, we usually have everything dubbed in Slovak or
Right.
Czech language, so
Okay.
it's nice, like you still, like use kind of like your language, but
Right.
we are a small country, so like from the perspective of openness or learning foreign language, it's better to keep the original one and only add subtitles, then you can match
Right.
a lot of the words.
So would you say you kind of moved from a more elementary level of English to a upper intermediate when you were in the Netherlands, and you've
Yes,
kind
I
of
was.
polished your English in the last few years? Yeah.
Yes, I was at least able to express myself. I
Hmm.
was at least able to not be worried of, like listen to foreign
Right.
people, to be somehow able to understand and communicate, which was the
Hmm.
most important thing. So you can somehow communicate. Maybe your level or expertise is not that high, but at least I was able to do it. And like as a proof was that I was able to make some exams in the language, make some presentation in the language, or so. I think it was not that perfect, and it boosted again with my experience at work,
Right.
and also with the
Yeah.
the language lessons
Yeah.
with you, that like on a regular basis, that we spend some time also with some challenging words, some new vocabularies, searching for good collocations so that you feel
Yeah.
and present everything more naturally, because you can express yourself, but someone still might have a feeling that you are not foreign, you are not that fluent. They sometimes understand what you said, but you say it in a way that no one from native language would say it. So
Yeah. If we're nervous, our fluency goes down. If we're thinking about accuracy, then fluency goes down.
yeah.
Uh, and fluency is what it's about in business. And you're communicating perfectly. Uh, so, and I use idioms, and much of the time you understand the idiom right away, the phrasal verbs, and this identifies somebody that's really confident in their English and proficient and that sort of thing. Um, so that's really great. Uh, but the main thing is being able to express the message, get the idea across, and you have that down pat.
Yes,
Yeah.
at high school it was very difficult because we were more focusing, like on grammar and proper English.
Right.
But like after some exams, maybe I was still confused. Like I was still not understanding grammar that much, and that was not the biggest problem. The biggest problem was that I spent lots of time with it, so I was not able to use the proper grammar and not even able to speak, like
Right.
because I spent lots of time with grammar and still not mastering it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, like as a kid, you first start learning, maybe you're speaking not that well, maybe you made lots of mistakes, but you're fluent, you're trying to boost, and then slowly you get better vocabularies, then slowly you get better like phrasal verbs and other stuff, and you connect it all together, and then like grammar went as something natural to you, that and like for written English you can still use lots of tools, and I think if you have good experience, you use English longer, you can still see in the sentence that something is wrong, something is not properly written. So, and with this tool and other stuff, you can still see, like and present professional English.
I believe 80% should be natural learning of English or any language. Learn it watching the YouTube, reading, listening to podcasts, all those sorts of things. And then fine tune it with some grammar, but just fine tuning it.
Hmm.
Think about learn a different tense or something, but focusing on grammar, people, it slows us down. I've found it in Spanish when I was learning Spanish. I think get the phonetics down really good. Learn how we use intonation, but just speak. That's just as the way we learned our native language, just like
Yeah.
children. Yeah. Any advice you have to people learning English, Martin? What would your
Mm,
key piece of advice be to them?
yes, maybe just keep, keep with your English level, keep, like working,
Yeah,
because that's probably the most important. Not get upset if like you see that someone's English is very good, or if you see that like I spent lots of years learning English, or like in professional world I
right.
use English. There are still times when I hear someone somewhere, or I go somewhere, some team building or something, and they completely different vocabularies, then I'm like upset,
Yeah,
because this is
yeah,
something slightly else, so I'm not catching that well. But I think like not keeping with it, just
right.
continuously improving it. If you see some challenge, like
Yeah.
consider it as a challenge, that always try to do your best. And yeah,
We could
listening
be,
but also speaking is
yeah,
important.
we could be professional football players. And unless we're Macy or somebody, there's always somebody better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey, right?
Yeah.
These things, it's continual improvement. Same in your professional life, right? I'm sure you're always working with different software systems and that. You're always learning new things, and uh, English is just a tool for a software professional.
Yeah, and maybe one more recommendation, try to keep some challenges. Like you probably don't want to hear always, like the same thing, or it's sometimes very good for you to know to also see some video or read something that is fully understandable for you. It's completely
Yeah.
fine. But I think more importantly to progress, if is to have something that is challenging.
Hmm.
Watching some movies or speaking with someone that you don't fully understand. I think this boosts your performance, because if you're always on the level with others that are below or on your level, you are not progressing. You are somehow, like it's also important step that you are verifying what you learned already. But I think for progress is also important to make some challenges. So take some new vocabularies, watch some movies like without subtitles. If you watch, I don't know, with subtitles and you're confident with that, maybe start to remove it so that you can better, I don't know, catch the words or so, depending on like what's missing you. If you have better listening, maybe something else is
Yeah.
important, reading some books, something more complex,
Yeah.
always trying to get more complex stuff so that you can progress better.
Yeah. A good exercise for comprehension is to listen to English music and see if you can write the lyrics. It's challenging for the natives. I'd have to
Yeah.
listen to a song, unless it's a very slow kind of poem to music. I'd have to listen to it 3 or 4 times. So we have filters in our natural language. And, but the big thing is to speak the language and listen to others. And I like your idea that we need to be challenged. We need to go beyond what we already know. And it's so common. It's so human like to do what we know well, and just because we're in the comfort zone, so we need to get out of that. And does anybody have any questions before we end this? I'm sorry, I should have asked people to post them in comments. So Martin's here. He's ready to ask questions. You can ask him about how he got to his very advanced level of English, how he's learned phrasal verbs, idioms, how much he uses them. How often do you speak to foreign English speakers versus native English speakers, Martin?
I'm not sure 100%. Usually it's mixed because on the meetings there are usually two kinds of these people. So,
right.
But mostly, like it's somehow that these people are not native. They are from different different countries. So, yeah, most of the people I speak with are not native speakers.
Right.
But there is usually on a call a few people that are native speakers.
Right. Yeah. And native speakers have a problem often understanding other native speakers. So you put me with a real Scottish person that's not living in Edinburgh or Glasgow, but somebody that's out there, and we'd have a hard time with them. So it's yeah, or some people in Canada have strong accents. So thanks very much, Martin, for taking the time.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Excellent. I really appreciate it. So have a great weekend, and it's good to see you. And have a successful day tomorrow. Since
Thanks.
It's just late afternoon there, I guess.
Thank you very much. Bye bye, everyone.